Yo, welcome back for another episode. If this your first time walking with us, welcome to the circle, the real one. I'm glad you're here because today we're talking about something that makes people feel real uncomfortable. I'm excited about this fucking episode. Yes, and this is only part one, okay? Part one of the episode. Part two will be released at a later date, so please stay tuned for that. But let me get right into it. Don't you feel like we've been fed this loyalty lie since kids, right? Stay loyal to the soil. Don't forget who was there before the glow up. Warm to the tune type of bullshit. Okay, but motherfuckers really not telling you what to do when your day ones start feeling like done ones. And that right there is what we gonna clock today. Cause I was thinking to myself, and I want to share this, like how many of us are trying to build an empire in 2026 with people who are still stuck in the 2018 mindset. If your inner circle is still bringing up like old school shit, old drama, talking about your old mistakes or whatever, like it happened yesterday, they aren't for you. They're anchors. Sorry to put it to you that way, boo boo, but it is what it is. Smiling in your face, but subconsciously praying that you don't evolve. Just because you have history with someone doesn't mean they have a seat in your destiny. And I'm gonna say that again. Just because you have history, because motherfuckers think, oh, well, this has been my friend since the sandbox, since Lunchable days. Motherfucker, like what? At the end of the day going in. It is what it fucking is. Just because you have history with someone doesn't mean they have a seat in your destiny. You cannot keep dragging people along who only love the version of you they can control. If they can't handle the new you, it's because the old you was more convenient for them. And that's a fucking fact because I say that. Motherfuckers know how people used to be back in the day, and because they were that person and they was that more live or lit or whatever type of person, they can't get down with shit like that. Not to be funny, look at drug addicts, people who've done crack, whatever back in the day. How are we supposed to be cool if you can't even smoke crack with me no more? That's how niggas gonna look at you. Respectfully. Let's be fucking for real. Can't keep dragging motherfuckers along. You was only here for when I was doing that little crack, little razzle dazzle. That's just what it is. Like, people be in people's life for a certain amount of time. You cannot keep dragging people along like, who only love the version of you that they can control because it's really convenient for them. So today on Court Talk So Walk, baby, we doing a full audit today. Okay, we checking the receipts, separating the people who are actually in the trenches with you from the ones who are just sitting in the front row, just waiting for the show to fucking fail. You got motherfuckers like that too. So I want y'all to put your phone down. D&D, do not disturb, because it's time to be honest. Let's walk, baby. So real quick, y'all, because y'all know I'm a sports head. Tonight, we actually have the Miami Heat playing the Minnesota Timberwolves at 8 o'clock. Tyler Hero and the Heat, Bam Adebayo versus Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm really excited to see the game between Miami because Miami has been such a team for me, like, oh, the season's like the best, in my opinion, that I've seen of Miami. Now, I'm not going to go, whoever's listening and whatever age group you're in, the age range or the time that I'm speaking about is new era Miami Heat. Okay. The best of Miami that I've seen was during COVID in the bubble when they had Jimmy Butler, Dragic, Hero, Adebayo. They had a couple good people. They had a squad on them. And that was the best that I got to see the Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat now actually are really doing a beautiful job, I think, in my opinion, versus how they've been in the last couple seasons in the league. And right now I believe they're placing number 7th in the Eastern Conference, which is not bad actually. And I know now they have Norman Powell, which was a great pickup, I believed, because I've been watching Norman Powell storming Norman since he's been on the Blazers with my boy Lillard. Like, cooking, but respectfully, like they got a squad on them. And Bam always been that dude. Tyler Hero always been that dude. And remember, they did pick up Andrew Wiggins. I really don't have much to say about him. But I'll just give respect when this dude he did win a chip, with Golden State. And I just wish he was better. I just wish he was better for Golden State. Because it seems like he's really doing a good job with with the Miami Heat. And I think if they continue to play good, then they can go somewhere right now. Seventh right now is not bad compared to the West, if you ask me, because the West is so much harder than the East. Like I said, they continue to play good. They can catch up to. I'll give them to catch us number 4. You know, and what really got me, just to like real quick, what really got me in a bind is like the Celtics is still up there. All right. Even though I did say Golden State is my team, I have teams in order that I know is good teams. I feel like other teams could have been on the top right now, knowing that Jason Tatum has been out. But a different story for a different day. But I really hope that the Miami Heat actually do good tonight. Pray for them. But Minnesota, whoo, it's tough because I'm a West Coast fan that is from the East Coast. And I really don't want nobody to be in front of Golden State's way. But because Golden State be fucking up on, they own, I really don't want the Timberwolves to beat the Miami Heat tonight. But I will sit there and say that the Minnesota Timberwolves is a great team. Anthony Edwards is phenomenal. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Grit against grit. Tyler Hero, Bam, and a vet on the team. Powell, who knows his way around the court, who's still hitting the shots. And then when you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves now, and it's like, okay, these young cats, they could really play. Julius Randle, seeing how far he's come, I'm happy for Julius Randle because I will never forget how he did New York. He was good for a little bit, but him and the rest of them was just they weren't mixing together. But him playing on the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Dante DiVincenzo, I love him too. And Nas, can't forget Nas Reed now. They seem to work collectively. They seem to work really good together. But I'm excited to see how tonight is going to play out. If you watch basketball, please don't be afraid to drop something in the comments about what you think is going to happen with the game tonight. But yeah, so we're gonna roll right into the show. So I don't know how many of my fans or the people that's listening I don't know how much you guys engage in basketball, but real quick with the whole basketball, okay? You have like on the court there when you are playing basketball, the sport, it's 5 players versus 5 players. And then you have the rest of the other players on the bench. Probably the rest of the other players on the bench, if you divide them up, probably like a good 5 other players are like, okay, that's going to be getting off the bench soon to sub in the people that's on the starting lineup. And then probably about a good rest of them, or, just a portion of them are on the bench for the entire game, for the entire season. So they never really get to see, how can I say, never get to experience the court life. Okay. And I like to call them like bench huggers or like bench warmers because they always on the bench and they ass is always making the bench warm because they don't really get up to play. So I just want to use that type of terminology. I just didn't want you guys to be lost. You feel me? I just wanted to use that terminology to like basically break in what I wanted to say. So like I said, not bitch, bench warmer or bench hugger in your life is like, that person who is like wholeheartedly team you. You ever notice? When the cameras are rolling and the vibes are high, but becomes team me the very second like the bill is due or the work gets heavy. Like they seem so obsessed, in my opinion, with the reflection of your success, but they have absolutely no interest in the blood, sweat, and tears it took you to produce it. So I like to call this, in a way, the front row friend. And how many of y'all have a front row fucking friend. Friend always be fucking there. Oh, that's my sis. I support you, friend. Yeah, go get that shit, friend. And then next thing you know, the ones who only seem to have, they seem like they're only ones in my opinion, to seem that they have the best interests, but at the same time, they don't have the best interest for your process. They just want to be around because if they be around to support it, then they feel like they could benefit off of it. Oh, well, I'm going to always support you, friend, da da da. And then on the back end, it gives that friend like, oh, well, Shanita always been there for me. She always been, but low key, Shanita don't give a fuck that you was up to 3 a.m. sewing them fucking clothes, trying to put it together. You get what I'm saying? If anything, maybe Shanita should have came over and helped you sew some of that shit together then. But Shanita was like, hell no, I see you at the press conference, friend. I see you there. So they could get me and you both in there too. That's what them type of bitches be like. Like I said, they the fucking type, the ones who only seem to have a signal on their phone when you got shit going on and whatnot. Like the minute you catch a break or get the bag, or they like the first ones reposting on their fucking story. Look at my fucking friend. Proud of you, captions and shit like that. But let's keep it a stack. Where was that energy when you was broke? Crying in the car or crying in the closet, whatever, struggling to even get out of the fucking bed. Like, listen, like I said, they aren't proud of the grind. Niggas will be happy for the final picture, but niggas ain't really fucking with you during the process now. Cause niggas don't give a fuck. Like I've been saying, find people who give a fuck about you or mind your fucking business. Literally. Okay? Because you need people that's gonna appreciate not what you put out. You get what I'm saying? They need to appreciate what you put in, and also to appreciate what the outcome is. Okay. I don't want motherfuckers to like me for what the fuck they see about me. You get what I'm saying? There are a lot of people who like fucking celebrities. And then next thing you fucking know, they not who the fuck they are. Okay. So be fucking careful who the fuck you want to be friends up with. Who you want to shack up and be a friend with, because motherfuckers is snakes in the fucking grass. And that's a fucking fact. So back to what I was saying, if them front row friends are too busy to check up on your mental health when you were in the trenches, when you was in that time frame where you had a moment where you needed to, reset or whatnot, okay, they should not be in the front and and at the sense of popping bottles at your celebration. No, 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 no. Because we have to stop letting people celebrate a victory they didn't help bleed. They didn't help bleed for. If they didn't see the vision when it was blurry, then I feel like they don't get to act like they were the ones who cleared the lens. Real fucking talk. Like people, I could really respect people who can see you have a vision for something and then like quick, you know what? Just quick thing real quick. One of my friends, Meeks, I have been talking like I had with this whole podcast thing before I even told anybody about it. I kept it to myself. And then I eventually I had told, it was me, Meeks, and Alicia. Sarah was running late as always. Okay, but we was in Domino Park, and we were just looking just to have a girls' time. And I was telling them about the podcast. And that was the first, I could probably say first and last time that I spoke about the podcast. And after that, I really never brought it back up, whatever the case is. But throughout that, and that was last year, and during like the summer, yeah, I would say probably during like the summer, and then probably leading up into the fall, Meeks was asking me like, about the podcast and like, how's everything going? Juju, if you need any help, da da da, X, Y, and Z, let me know. I could definitely, help you, and just giving me like, tips and tricks. Just like, on the surface of what the whole podcast and media media like. And I'm like, dang, son, it's really good to have like, a friend that, who also wants to share like, that process. I don't want to have people here that's going to be in the end and then celebrating, because it's like, okay, what the fuck is you celebrating for? You wasn't here when I was up. Like, you get what I'm saying? I can appreciate people because it's like, wow, like, I remember when this was just the size of a fucking Cheerio. Now it's like your brain is the size of it's like the size of the universe now. And you want people that's going to like, be able to give that, their 2 cents in it. you appreciate people for even like thinking about, okay, just the drive or like, the time that it has and whatnot, like, that you have to spend on a project or for something that's important in your life. And I was just bringing this up just to give to you guys, like, it's important to have friends like that. You get what I'm saying? Because even when it came close to the dropping of the podcast, makes it just like I cannot wait. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I definitely want to be able to be better at, what, okay, taking up on my friends' requests as far as like, shoot, like, hey, let's work together. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's, if you have friends that have something going on for yourself, you need to support them, because listen, that's how they gonna only, like, not that that's the only way, but that's how they grow. And that's how you able to build a better relationship with your friends, not just, for like bonding, but as far as business. You get what I'm saying? Everybody, if you want people to see them get a bag or whatever, even if it's a small share, like, but you have to notice the difference between the front row and the okay, well, let me share this real quick. I see my friend, she shared this. Well, oh, I see she got this going on. Let me, you get what I'm saying? Because shit, word of mouth. So I just put that out there just to share with you guys that at the end of the day, not at the end of the day, you need to separate the type of friends that you have. Not everybody's going to be with you every second of the day, but you definitely do want friends to think about what your journey is, what the struggle might be. So when it is time to celebrate, they could be like, well, dang, son, I seen you. They can really understand that you come a long way. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I hope that shit resonated with you because it definitely did say, ooh, when I said that, I was like, ooh, that sounds nice. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there. So just to get back on topic, would also sit there say is we have to also start paying attention to how our body feels the second we walk away from a motherfucker. You ever notice when you be talking with somebody and then like you go like and then the conversation is over, they're like, damn, so I don't know why, like, this person just got me like feeling this way. And, like, that gut feeling, okay? Like that gut feeling. Right. Okay. So we all have that one person in that group chat or whatever who is a total energy fucking vampire. Sucks up all the fucking energy in the fucking world. Yes, yes. And I know once I said that, you be like, damn, son, energy vampire is wild, but it is what it fucking is. Okay? You like spend an hour with them, whatever the case might be, and you left feeling heavier, like and how you came in, or it's just dark, or you feel more drained. But like, whatever, even if it was a phone call, them energy suckers, Jesus fucking Christ. They spend the whole time dumping trauma on you or complaining about how the world is against them. You know those fucking people. Cause I ran into a few motherfuckers like that in my 28 years of living. Okay. And they just seem like the type to like just throw that nasty, like subtle shade at your ambition because they're too lazy to start their own shit, right? A power bank is that friend who leaves you feeling like all charged up, challenged, ready to run. Like if you have a circle that is just a collection of dead batteries with no juice, you cannot be surprised when your own engine stalls out. Like, make it make sense. Your energy is the only currency that actually fucking matters. So you have to stop spending it on people who have zero balance and a badass attitude. Okay. And when I sit there and say this because I've experienced so much shit in my life. I'm just so happy to fucking share it because I really like it really comes from a good like place in my heart. Everything that I've been through, whether it's been good or bad, I've learned to take the lessons from it. Whether it was bad, I take the lesson from it because it was still good in a certain type of way. And I'm gonna use an example. And I have a best friend, my sister, me and Cheyenne. I give real names. I give real names. I'm sorry. I hope my friends don't feel no fucking way, but I give real names. Me and Cheyenne, we have been friends, sisters since what? We in 2026 now. I would say definitely more than like 17 years. Definitely like we're probably like the 17 years. Like we close to like 2 decades of close to 2 decades of friendship. Um, that is definitely Cheyenne is definitely a power, like, a power bank friend of mine. She is the type of person I could really talk to about anything. And she'd be like, yes, girl, go for it. And I remember the first time when we had graduated from high school. Mind you, my friend, she lived in a whole different state. Child, we have lived our lives separately, like since kids. Okay. Sis has been living in down south for so long. And I've stayed in New York since birth. But I remember when we had graduated high school, we got enrolled into college and whatnot. And life takes its course. And I basically ended up dropping out of school. And she would always tell me, sis, when you going back? When you going back to school? Like you come on, I can't be the only one that got the degree now. Like it's not like she was trying to show like put her success on me. She wanted me to have my own so we could share this shit together. Like, come the fuck on. Clock the fucking T, Jew. Like, this is the type of friend that I fucking want. She's always been that way since day fucking one. Like, she want to share success with you. She want to have like level-minded friends. She want to have that for herself. And I'm like, nah, real ass bitch for real. Like, that's shout out to my good sis, Cheyenne, my kid's godmother. Like, I love that girl with like my soul. Like, that's really my heart right there because she is definitely the example of. But yes, my shout out to my good up sis, Cheyenne. Like, she's definitely a friend that everybody needs for sure. Like, we're different. She is really more like headstrong, really more headstrong than I am. She's just a strong woman, like overall. She is very like she wants to see me be better in every aspect, whether it be as a parent, a friend, because she will definitely point me out on my own shit, but she definitely does want to see me succeed, just like she's succeeding in her own life. And I just love that, like, for me, I love that for her. I'm very grateful that she has never given up on me. Like for real, honestly, she's never given up on me throughout our entire journey of being, sisters, friends. She's never given up on me. Have we been mad at each other before? Absolutely, but she's definitely not a front row friend. She is really more the behind the scenes. She listen if you let her tell it, I'm her only friend. But that like I know her spirit, her heart will bless 1,000 more. She doesn't have more friends because she chooses not to. Okay. That's just her. But I'm laughing because you would really have to know her because she would be laughing if she heard me say that right now. But anyways, oh my goodness, that was a good like moment for me. Like for real, honestly. But gosh, I just like to sum it back up to go to spin the block on it real quick. I hope you guys understand. Like, you need less. What I said, them energy vampires. Yeah, you got to get away from those because I just feel like people who be sucking that energy of life out of you, it's only convenient for them. If they could have somebody sit in the house with them and smoke all day, then they would. Okay? Because I've seen it. Motherfuckers will sit in the house all day and smoke. While you was supposed to do something for your shit. Get your shit together, whatever. Motherfucker like, yo, bro, come pull up, bro, real quick, da 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 da. And bitches too. Let me smoke real quick, da da da. And be there all fucking day. And like, I'ma just go do that shit tomorrow because yeah, I'm just chilling with my girl Nunu right now. We over here rolling up. Niggas ain't got shit better to do. Yeah, energy vampires. Leave them niggas the fuck alone. All right. And finally, I did want to address the brand name baggage, those type of people, which I'm laughing because these are the people who want the identity of being with you, but bring zero value. Goose egg to the table. Like literally they love like the clout and the platform you build or that you built already, but they aren't contributing anything besides an opinion nobody fucking asked for. And how many of y'all have that like person in your life? Friend, foe, family member, whatever. Like this is the real truth about people. If you're the only one providing the vision, the money, or the blueprint, while they're just making mistakes you have to fix, they aren't your partner, like friend, whatever. They're like basically like an employee. And you're overpaying them with your time. Like, loyalty is beautiful and all, but loyalty without work is just a fucking slow way to fail together. And I don't need a cheering section in my private life. Like, I feel like I need people who can execute. Like, I'm trying to execute this year. Like I said, new year revelation. I'm trying to execute. Like, if you're just a fan of my success, stay in the fucking audience. Because my inner circle is only for people willing to fucking build. And I feel like people clout chase a lot. Like, for what reason, I honestly don't understand. But let me not say I don't understand. Because I do. Because I said it already. Niggas be wanting your identity. Like, respectfully. They be wanting your identity. And the crazy thing is, remember what I said last episode in episode 2? Niggas be fake and fraud and fucking expensive motherfucking, like, they be expensive fucking ghosts. Like, literally. Niggas be wanting to steal your identity and they steal the identity that's already fake. Make it make sense. Like I said, mind your business and go find yourself something safe to do, which is go find out who the fuck you are. And then when you find out who the fuck you are, you can realize where the fuck you need to be and what environment you can put your fucking self into. That's what it really be about. You get what I'm saying? Like, where do people think they're going? How far do people think they're going to go if they're not contributing to something that people have a vision for? How far do you see yourself growing, envying people just to be in the light with them? How far do you think you're gonna fucking go if you're just gonna drag somebody down to do nothing because you're not doing fucking nothing? How far do you think you're gonna go? Because a lot of y'all sitting in apartment 16N or 4Y and just doing the same fucking damn thing with yourselves, all them, and then just creating a bigger multitude of people to follow you to do the same fucking shit. Like the blind leading the fucking blind. Like, whoo, Jesus Christ. Even Stevie Wonder can see the shit y'all be doing. But anyways, let me say this though. On a real, I know like what some of y'all are thinking. You're hearing this, and like I know y'all got some people that done popped up in your head when I was talking my shit. But it's the truth though. Juju's truth. But y'all feel that tug in your chest, right? Y'all feel that weight, like that hood guilt, right? That tells you like if you walk away, I know Sean since we was good, like since we was back in the day and da 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 da. Listen, we gotta be real about the cost of staying. And the cost of staying in any type of environment, any type of relationship. Because once you stop letting the bench warmers drain your battery, you're gonna realize that you're naturally moved in a completely different lane. And that lane is gonna feel real lonely at first. And that's the thing. I realize that people want to be in comfortable settings. Okay. They could stay somewhere and be comfortable and still be at the top and have everybody notice them and stuff like that. Shoot, they ain't got to move a motherfucking muscle. Okay. Because they ain't got to do nothing. They got people watching them. They got that feel. Okay, they don't gotta do much. They feel like, oh well, shoot, I am the shit. They ain't gotta do no soul searching. Because they feel like, well, shit. Look at life right now. I'm good. They good right now. Newsflash, you gotta move on. You cannot stay in the projects. And I'm not even trying to be funny when I say projects because people will always be taking shit like that crazy. You cannot stay in the projects with people who want to continue to do project shit. Just because you done went to elementary and middle school and high school, that's a lot already. Sometimes you have to know when it's time to cut it off with motherfuckers. Like outgrowing motherfuckers, okay? Outgrowing the fucking neighborhood. And yo, hey, niggas love to stay in the fucking hood ass neighborhood because they ain't got nothing better else to fucking do. They'll do everything and stay in the fucking hood. Nigga, if you don't move out this fucking hood and go get something that's fucking better, stop all that loyalty shit. Okay? That's why niggas don't know how to act when they in some shit because they stay accustomed to the shit they in. Clock it. But anyways, we gonna fast forward. Outgrowing the fucking people, outgrowing the fucking neighborhood because it's not about forgetting where you came from. It's about realizing that the environment that raised you might not be the environment that can sustain your fucking future. Like, and that's exactly what I just sat there and said. It's like I know I'm repeating myself just in different ways. And I'm just here to tell you, listen, you can't expect to be an artist still living in the hood. If you want to promote hood music, then by all means, baby boy or baby girl, stay there. I don't know, and I'm not even trying to be funny, and I'm not judging anything, but I don't know how far that's going to go. Do you get what I'm saying? If you love music, music is a craft, okay? It's art, all right? And you have the different genres of music, but you have to be talking about something that people can relate to. When you really have a small, you get what I'm saying? In my opinion, small people that can relate, it's not really something that's positive in my opinion. I don't want to be hearing about, y'all really spinning the block and going get ops every damn song. I don't want to hear that shit. That's corny to me. So I mean, if you want to be better with your fucking music, have something better to be talking about, or something that you're trying to reach, or something like that. But you have to be able to get out the environment to be able to talk about something, showcase something, talk about something different, because the environment is just keeping you here because you have nothing else to talk about. You can't speak about jacuzzis or anything like that because there's no jacuzzi in apartment 2Y or 2N. I don't know, but it is what it is. People love to call it selling out or acting brand new, but in reality, it's just evolution. I feel like if you stay a caterpillar just because the other caterpillars are comfortable, lastly, we have to address the different time zone disconnect when it comes to like outgrowing like the neighborhood. Because when you finally outgrow the neighborhood or the people and you move away, now it's like a disconnect. And when you start leveling up, your 24 hours just don't look like their 24 hours anymore. Y'all realize that? And I used to live in the projects. I'm not ashamed about where I came from, not at fucking all. Like, it's part of me, it's part of like my story, my journey. I lived in the projects, and it was a time in my life where, like, I'm a kid, but this is what, my aunt, this is the best that the system can do right now. You know what I mean? And 24 hours, you living in, like the projects. And I'm talking about, I used to live in Brownsville, but not Brownsville projects, okay? If you know Brownsville, you know the area. You already know what it's like. And 24 hours back then, kids is going to school. You come and you leaving school, and them kids is right outside. Soon as you get there, they outside. Parents on the bench. This is what they do. You get what I'm saying? Versus when you leave an environment. I left Brownsville when I was going to the 7th grade. And that's when I had moved to the Bronx. And my whole environment changed. I wasn't even living in a project no more. I was living in a house. And it was different for me because this was the second time that I've lived in a house. And at this time, I'm probably like going on, what, 13 years old, going to 7th grade, going 13 years old. My godmother, she had a house. Her and my godfather were married. They had my godbrothers. And house upstairs, downstairs, basement, backyard, front yard. They had a fucking parking spot and the fucking place for you to put the car, the garage in the back. So I'm like, oh shit, like this is nothing that I'm used to. Versus like living with my aunt, living in apartment 2 fucking C. Okay? And it was just, like, so crazy because the life, the environment, it was different because the people that I knew eventually, like, became a disconnect because I wasn't there anymore. And the only person that I held on to was my girl Cheyenne. Like, my good up sis Cheyenne, like, really held it down. Like, we was on phone calls, like, "Girl, this is what my life is like right now," and yeah, and she was telling me what her life was like. I'm like, "Damn, son, I'm really, like," and I ain't gonna hold you. At one point in time, because I had moved to the Bronx and I wasn't living with my aunt anymore, the disconnect between, even though I had my friend, like, Cheyenne on the phone at times, because I wasn't physically there, because Cheyenne has always been like a safe haven for me. So not having to be around her and, like, her comfort, it was a big thing for me. So I had to find that, somewhere else. And we were still able to like share our friendship, like, together, because I would go to Brooklyn, like, on events when she had her sweet 16 or a birthday party, and I would be there, like, and we'll have a good time. it's crazy because I will never forget. I don't think I've ever told Cheyenne this, but we're adults now. And this is when I was like younger. And because me and Cheyenne had already established our like, our friendship has already been established already. And what happened was as we got older, time is going. And at this time now we were in high school and she had met, a friend. And what happened was they became very close and they were able to experience moments that me and her hadn't experienced. And I knew because the different time zone disconnect was going on, and I was just like, well, damn, so how much a friend, how much can we be friends to each other? If we're not even if we don't see each other every day. And she was seeing this girl every day because they used to go to the same school. So it was just like, oh wow, I felt like she was taking my place. And I was just like, well, okay, cool. Well, I had my friends. I had a best friend. I bet you get I had like a best friend now, but it was nothing like Cheyenne. You get what I'm saying? And at the moment, I wasn't thinking like that, but I just knew that, okay, well, I had something. It's not as strong as it was before because of the circumstance, but it is what it is. Only to realize, like, when you have a disconnect with a friend because of the time and the situation, it's really easy to see people drop like flies. But it's also good to have a person or people to still stay above the mix with you. Okay. And it was just so crazy to me because it's like over time, I realized what a friend who lives in a different borough, then eventually becoming a friend that live in a different state. That different time, that disconnect showed me in a way how strong our relationship is. And that I realized the people that I have seen, that I have become friends with, who I've seen day in and day out, or have seen at different times because we chilling. Motherfuckers done drop like fucking flies. Literally. And I moved to the fucking Bronx. Niggas will be like, oh, well, you don't even come see me no more. Nigga, what? I live in a whole different borough. Like, I don't even be coming out here. But when I do, I try to see every fucking body. But niggas don't even really be respecting like the disconnect. So niggas ain't really gonna like do the most. It's like, okay, well, you was my friend for now or for the time being. We cool, but we ain't really tight like that because you over there and I'm all the way over here. Like, so I've learned to be cool with that because if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. People would just be put for a certain time and a certain place. We have to address that when you start leveling up, your 24 hours are not going to match the next person's 24 hours. While you're up early getting your mind right and mapping out your legacy, your day ones are often still asleep or just getting in from the club, or, you start seeing the world through the lens of discipline while they see it through the lens of comfort. So when you have made that, vital decision of moving forward with your life, you aren't leaving them. Your orbits just don't overlap anymore. And that's okay. You can't explain the beauty of the sunrise to people who only live in of the dark. Make it make sense. You don't owe anyone no explanation for the work you do while they're busy sleeping on their own potential. And once you start doing that, people eventually start to feel like you acting brand new. Once you realize that, okay, you doing something for yourself or you got this going on and you leveling up, and then you have that one friend who now is disconnected and so forth, but you want to have people that's going to be leveled in your life. So keep that in mind. But when people see that you're doing that, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you acting brand new." How many of y'all ever have somebody like, "Oh well, damn, this nigga acting mad brand new," or she acting brand new because she got that new job. Sound like a hater to me. I know, because people don't respect the process, the grind. Okay, the minute you start talking differently, eating differently, or investing your money instead of blowing it, someone is going to try to guilt trip you for a fact. But that's not a critique. That's a confession of their like own stagnation, if you ask me. They're mad because your growth is actually a mirror showing them exactly where they're stuck at. And don't fucking apologize for the version of yourself that had to be born for you to survive to this new level. Like, don't you fucking dare. The only thing you apologize is that you got the fucking sneakers dirty along the way. You like those pair of sneakers. Okay? All right. Like, if you're acting brand new, it's because the old you, like, it couldn't, like, it couldn't handle the weight of where you're going. Like, change is a requirement for survival, which is so, like, so true. And I believe it because in order to elevate, change comes. Like, change is constantly working. If it didn't work the first time, just ask yourself this. If it didn't work the first time, and then it didn't work the second time, and then it didn't work the third time, but then the fourth time you try something different, that means you changed something. So change is always, always in rotation, baby. It's always in rotation. Change is a requirement for survival, and you have to understand it. But change isn't a betrayal. It's like, to me, it's the only way to eventually come back and actually help people or the environment, whatever, however you want to call it. Because you can't reach back and pull people up if you're sitting in the same hole with them. You can't be staying stagnant with them. Because staying stagnant isn't loyalty. To me, it's just really a suicide pact for your dreams. So if you're really trying to elevate, sometimes you have to let people go. Get what you gotta go. And when you get there, come back. Everybody needs help in each and every way. Whether you notice it now or later, you can always help somebody. But sometimes you do need to let people go so you can figure it out yourself and come back to help people. And then maybe they might actually like, you know what, damn, I'ma actually do this shit this time. Because everything is not meant to be shared with everybody. Sometimes you have to go through your own life by your fucking self, figure yourself out, mind your fucking business, and succeed. That's just really what it be about. Okay. But here's one thing I do want to sit there and say. It's Here's the thing. Once you finally like make peace with the fact that you can't stay in that hole, you're going to find yourself in a room where you're suddenly the smallest person there. When you finally decide that you can't stay in a hole and you're going to find yourself in a room where you're like the smallest person there, it sounds kind of scary, right? So it's easy to be the king of the block, right? But it takes real heart to be the rookie in the room full of giants. And I think about David and Goliath because David at first was scared to fight Goliath, but they had skill. They had skill. They had potential. And I look at all these rookies. It also reminds me of Kaminga, Jonathan Kaminga played for Golden State Warriors. And when I say Kaminga came in the league on the Warriors, I remember his first game played against the Los Angeles Lakers against LeBron. And when I say that boy, man, rookie in the room was showing out like no fucking other. Showing out. So was trying to do a lot. I'm like, damn, rookie, slow down. Trying to just show LeBron and the Lakers like this, like, I ain't fucking playing with nobody. Like, I'm on the court right now. Like, that nigga was hype. I'm like, yeah, like, don't be afraid. Jonathan Kaminga he was really that player at the time. Really was that player. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid to be the rookie. He wasn't afraid to be the new person. And I'm starting to see that more and more. Look, these rookies who are starting in the NBA just not scared. They showing niggas like, nah, I'm really about it. I really got it. And I'm going to show you why I belong or why I deserve to be here. And I love that for them. So with that being said, it takes real heart to be the rookie in the room full of giants. You got to stop being afraid of being the student again. Because if you're always the smartest person, listen to me, if you're always the smartest person in your circle, you aren't growing. You're just decomposing. You really need to find the people who have already survived the storms that you're just now walking into. And that's how people be able to relate. You can't not have people like be doing something and not have people who could really steer you in a path of like knowing all the pros and cons of what your goal is or what you're set what you set for your journey. I'm pretty sure that how can I sit there and say I'm pretty sure we all have that feeling where it's like, oh man, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this done. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's where you have to have things or have people, have environments challenge you. challenge you in ways where you can grow because growth is everything. Once you grow, who won't stop you? Once you learn something, nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can make you unlearn that you know 1 + 1 = 2. Nobody can make you unlearn that. You want listen, once you learn that, now you want to know, well, damn, if 1 + 1 if it's two, shoot, what's 1 million plus 1 million, baby? 2 million. No, for real. Like, it's just gonna open your mind for what's next to come. Okay. And lastly, like I do want to sit there and say, like, we all know real quick, we all know that one person who was like a local celebrity 10 years ago, right? And they still clinging to that same tired glory because they terrified of going somewhere nobody knows their name. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but like hood artists and shit like that be like, back in the I'm talking about back in the day. Okay. But being a big fish in a small pond is like a slow death for like your ambition. Like it's comfortable to be the star. But I feel like if you're the only one in your group with a real vision and a bag, I feel like you aren't leading. You're babysitting. You have to like be willing to leave that pond and get into the ocean where you're forced to swim harder. When you finally catch a seat at the table with people who are actually where you want to be, you like have to be willing to pay the rookie tax. You have like, that's what that means. That means you shut your mouth and open your ears. And a lot of people love to fucking talk, and that's why they don't know shit because they always running their fucking mouth. They run the same people doing the same shit, And I'm sorry to sit there and say, but I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. The blind leading the fucking blind. And you need people. I feel like you need people in your life who make you feel like a beginner again. People who make you realize that what you thought was leveling up was really just the basement. Clock it. And I want you to clock it. I want to say, I'm going to say it just came out my mouth so fluently. Like, I don't even know, like, I just felt like I just gave y'all a word, a fucking word. Like, I'm going to say it again. People who make you realize that what you thought was leveling up was really just the basement. Your ego is the only thing standing between you and the next level of your life. All right. And I feel like people who experience basic shit, and I'm not even trying to be funny because I've experienced basic shit that I thought was lit shit until somebody had to show me that, nah, this is regular shit. And no, for real, honestly. So so fucking honest. Because trying to see what example can I really give y'all right now? Cause like I said, I done been through some shit. Like, and I ain't gonna hold you. Boo. So my ex, right? We was cool. We was cool. We was cool. And he had went away for some time. And when he came back, the version of him that I seen wasn't the version that went in. And we, it was a point in time in my life where it's just like, you know what? I'm trying to see what's up with that. And if you know what I mean, you know exactly what the fuck I mean. So, like I said, mind your business and find something safe to do. But not for real. And at this time, I've already like had a relationship outside of him where I done kind of been courted in certain ways. He was like, basically, when we gonna link up? And he wanted to link up, and he wanted to. He had got this spot, and right then and there, it was like a ah ah. It was a ah 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 ah. No, no, no. We're not finna do that. We are not finna do that because what I felt like before with him was like, okay, cool. Like bitches at one point in time be like, oh well, long as I'm with him, we cool. And I will say this real quick. A lot of females be trying to like act like they shit don't stink like they wasn't with a nigga that slept on the floor before. But I'm not gonna say too much about that because I just go to mind my business. But anyways, like I sat there and said, I never really asked him for a lot. And now later on in my life that I was somewhat a little bit established as just a parent or like an individual, it was like okay, let's link up. But then it's like shit, like I ain't do no shit like this since I've been with you. So what the fuck I look like doing my shit now? You get what I'm saying? Like people and that's the thing. And I was trying to have him understand like the person that you think that I was, it's not who I am now because the thing is he returned back to his environment. So because he see other people and not to say that maybe because he has nothing else to offer, this is what he can. But sweetheart, you really just giving basement. Because if you really wanted to link up with me and you really wanted to have a good time, or even if it's in the sense of getting pussy and getting dick, whatever the case is, I'm being so fucking honest. Then we could do so much better. But don't think that what we used to do before is what we gonna do now, baby boy, because that's not what it is. And the thing is, I can't allow that to happen because the level up is just different for me. You want to have a conversation with me or X, Y, and Z. I don't want to be around none of your friends. I want to be able to take you seriously. Before, maybe I could do that. I could chill around you and your friends, and that'd be good. But now I don't want to do that shit, like, cause I done seen different, and I know a little better. And it's nothing against him, but it's just like you have to be with somebody or find people that's going to respect that once you in a certain stage in your life. And that's just how I feel. So everything happens for a reason. Just say it like that. Everything happens for a reason. But lastly, I want to just let you guys know this. And it's time for the score segment. So for today's score segment, we are checking the receipts on the entire social circle. And we do that by looking at your investment audit, distinguishing between your history and your actual contribution. Because just because someone has been there since the sandbox doesn't mean they belong in your boardroom in 2026. So clock that T and write that down. Do not bring Luther, John, and Peter, and Samantha, and Glenda, and Alphaba to 2026 knowing damn well motherfuckers don't belong there. All right. And we're going to also, this is something I want you guys to do too. Look back on the last 90 days, the last 3 months of a motherfucker, and see if they was actually pouring into your vision or even holding you accountable. Or are they just occupying a seat and eating off the plate while you do it all the heavy lifting? If it is, dust that seat off. Thank you very much. Thank you. And if you're talking about your 2026 goals and they keep trying to drag the conversation back to when you was in 2018 and yada yada yada, please. They're only trying to keep you stuck, boo boo. So go get what is it? A forklift or something to drag you out that mud. I don't know. Whatever they call them things. Go get it and go get it fast. Go get it fast. Run. Don't walk. They're trying to keep you stuck, baby. And you got to stop giving VIP access to people who don't even know the current version of you. People be like, well, I like hanging out with JuJu. Why? Because JuJu be lit. What? Motherfuckers don't even be with JuJu Monday through fucking Friday. JuJu be stressed. Damn sure do. Shit. Motherfuckers want to lit me. Nah, like, cause stress JuJu is somebody else. Yeah, I know. Motherfuckers don't want to bother with that one at all. But that's real shit. But also, too, we have to do our energy leak test. We have to manage our spiritual capital at all times. It's the only way we're going to be able to survive. Every single time you try to prove yourself to a motherfucker hater or explain why to someone, motherfuckers want to misunderstand you because they want to. You can misunderstand me, but I don't need to be losing nothing else. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. We have to identify our unforced errors. And with those situations, we choose to enter knowing that they would drain us. We do be knowing, like I said, we be self-afflicting shit on ourselves, knowing how motherfuckers will be. You get what I'm saying? Why would you partner up with Sammy, knowing Sammy wake up late every day? No, like, for real. Like, I have an example. Like, because people have to pick their poison. And when people pick their poison, they pick their poison by going off the friendship. Well, I know me and John, we gonna do good because he's a good friend of mine. John don't have the same grind as you. Okay. John like to get up late. You like to get up early. Okay. You have to identify those unforced errors, those situations, knowing what to enter into because they're going to drain you. They're going to fuck you up in the end. No one's starting this business with John. Knowing motherfuckers like to be here early for that chopped cheese. And then niggas can't even get their sandwich because John is late because he's sleeping. I don't have time for that. You shouldn't have time for that neither. So you need to allow yourself for your focus to be a luxury so you can stop giving it away for free. $3.99. It's not for everything. Groceries should be, but not for this. All right. Your focus should not be free 99 towards the wrong people. Okay. It is a luxury. Understand your focus is a luxury. So stop giving it away for free to people who don't even have the vision to see what you're building. If they are, well, I can't even say Stevie Wonder because he even be seeing shit too, and he said it. And so do everybody else be saying. They say that motherfucker could see. And I believe him. I believe them. At this point in time, I believe them. Because he just always find, like, your ears ain't that fucking good, motherfucker, to be just be finding motherfuckers to the left and right of you. Like, nah, like, mm-mm. But I love you. Right. I love you, Stevie. That's my guy, though. Right. But stop giving it away for free. You heard what the fuck I said. And last note. You see how I got so calm with you guys? Last note for you lovely people. In our check and receipt score segment, right? This is a circle security check because in your inner circle, like your close, like your like immediate, your close people, they should be your sanctuary. And I'm talking so safe and calm on this because it is important. We need to make sure our inner circle is our sanctuary and not a news station. You don't do those type of things. I don't like stuff like that. If outside noise and drama are getting into your head, it's usually because someone you trust left the back door open and acted as a courier for the mess. A real friend filters the trash out. They don't deliver it to you in, okay, like on the blogs. If your friends are calling you just to report the hate or tell you what the blogs are saying instead of deleting that energy before it reaches you, they aren't your security. They're the paparazzi. Ooh, child. How many of y'all felt like today's episode was needed? Because I damn sure felt like it. For real. And it's only part one. Part one. I'm going to be doing a part two. If not this season, most likely next season. Okay. Because this Friends episode, I have been sitting on it. And now that it's finally here. So you guys stay tuned for that. I'm just so excited and blessed to be here to continue to share with you guys. And if this episode spoke to your journey or challenged you, your mind, your hustle, make sure you join the community by subscribing. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for the highlights, the behind the scenes, and more real talk. Let's just keep the scoreboard moving and the soul in alignment. And until next time, keep your head in the game and your heart in the wall. And I'm out.